William McGinley. And Brad, we're going to start with you. As a member of the LGBTQ community, I just want to ask flat out, are you worried about Justice Amy Coney Barrett perhaps taking away any of these rights?
No, not really. I mean, you can go back and look, and they said all the same things and sounded all the same alarms about Neil Gorsuch, and he just authored a massive gay rights opinion just a few months ago. So there is kind of this alarmist outcry from, I saw you cited The Advocate and other left-wing activists, but they say this about every conservative judge, and she's said that she will administer the law fairly, and we really have no reason to not believe her.
Is this, I mean, is it just general fear-mongering? Is this how, if you're on the left, you're trying to scare people in any way, form, or fashion to get out there and vote by saying that people like Amy Coney Barrett are going to, get rid of Roe v. Wade and take away the rights of gay people?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, she's certainly not going to endanger the Obergefell decision. I don't think there's any reason to believe that. Even people in the conservative legal movement that I talk to don't believe that. You would need 5 justices to go along with that. We don't even know that she wants to or that anyone on the court wants to. There's just so much of an enshrined interest and a precedent there. So that it is fear-mongering, first and foremost. And it's just partisan politics, honestly. A lot of the gay rights activists in Washington, D.C. are basically de facto arms of the Democratic Party. So you have to take anything they say about a Republican nominee with about 1,000 grains of salt.
William McGinley, over to you. Talk about just the situation we have right now politically. I mean, this vote for Amy Coney Barrett was 52-48. There used to be a time when everybody could kind of go along with the Supreme Court justice and say, okay, this is going to be a good person. She seems like a fantastic candidate. This is very political, isn't it?
Yeah, it's incredibly political. And let's not forget the Democrats are the ones that really took justice confirmation hearings and devolved them into partisan brawls, beginning with then Judge Bork, which Joe Biden chaired that committee. So he's got a lot of experience about turning judicial nominations into partisan brawls to try and advance their political agenda. And I think that this is just another example of that. I think our colleague on the panel laid out in a very good analysis. And let's be clear, Amy Coney Barrett was one of the most impressive nominees we've seen to ever sit before the Senate Judiciary Committee. Not only extremely intelligent, exercising good judgment, but clearly in her personal life, what a fantastic person with that wonderful family she had supporting her throughout this process. I don't think there was a better nominee that President Trump could have put forward. And also, I think, stare decisis comes into this, which is the principle about the Supreme Court not willy-nilly just overturning precedent. And I think that should give a lot of comfort to people that there's not going to be radical change. Instead, what there is I think there's going to be a full examination of the issues. And she's going to be an important voice on the court to bring stability and reason to the decisions that are handed down from the high court. Absolutely.
Scott Walker, over to you. You talk about, everybody thinks that you just know how this woman is going to rule, and you really don't. People talk all the time about how conservatives were very disappointed in some of the John Roberts rulings, the way he has governed, or I guess ruled on the court, you could say. You don't know what you're going to get.
Well, in the end, I think the one thing you do know is that this is a justice who's going to uphold the Constitution and the law. When I was governor for 8 years, I was proud to appoint men and women who did just that. People call it conservative. They're really just purists, meaning they uphold the law. It doesn't matter what their personal beliefs are. It doesn't matter what their religious or philosophical or political beliefs are. People like Justice Barrett uphold the law. That is predictable. The counter to that is not a liberal judge. It's an activist judge. And you can be activist. Most historically have been on the left, but you could be an activist on the right as well. That's not who Justice Barrett is. She made it clear throughout her testimony, I think clear throughout her life, that she views a judge as someone who upholds the Constitution and the laws duly enacted within it. No more, no less. That's the kind of people I put on the court in Wisconsin. Sure. And I'm glad she's on the court.
Interesting stuff. All right, Brad Polumbo, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Scott Walker, William McGinley, please stick around for us. Thanks, fellas.